Hey guys, today I wanted to give you a quick overview of OneDrive for Business On Demand. And this is the new update to the OneDrive synchronization client that sits on your Windows machine that allows you to synchronize files from Microsoft SharePoint or your OneDrive Office 365. The new on-demand functionality is a new piece of the existing synchronization client that allows you to set up files on your PC, but as a ghost file, so that you can see the file, but it doesn't actually consume any space. So there's a big issue out there in the big wide world in that a lot of customers synchronizing to large SharePoint document libraries. We've got lots of employees who are connected to that document library or to their personal OneDrive, and all those files are being synchronized onto their machine. And so it's consuming a lot of bandwidth through over local networks, but also it's consuming up a lot of disk space on each of those laptops, effectively creating a copy of everybody's business documents on everybody's laptops. So with the on-demand allows you to see them, but without to consume the space. So today I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of what that looks like and how you could use that on a day-to-day basis. And I'm also going to show you how to see if you can start using this today, or what you need to do to be able to start using this today. So here I have an Office 365 blank SharePoint team site. There's a document library in there obviously, and I've got a handful of documents. So to get up and running and to synchronize this is just like before, is we come into the document library, and up here in the command bar we can click on the sync button. That will then synchronize, set up a synchronization to your Windows Explorer. So if I open up Windows Explorer, I can now see that new document library called Team Demo Documents. You can see here I've already got existing document libraries synchronized already. And here's those three documents, as I showed you back here, the three documents. Okay, now what's changed in this process is this new column, which is this cloud, this status column. And this cloud column tells me that that file does not exist on my PC. So let's go in and have a look at that. We can see that this file is 20 kilobytes. If I right click and go in on properties of that, we can see that the size is at 19 kilobytes more specifically, and the size on the disk is 0 bytes, which is pretty cool. Now if I want to access or put that file on my machine, then I can just double click on that file and the file will open up for me. Okay, and you can see there that it's changed to a tick, which means that file is now stored on my PC. So that file is opening up. You can see there's some stats happening there, and I'll close that down. And I'll give you another example. So I can open up this demo document, which is a Word file. You can see it's downloading the file. And I can go in and make changes to this file. So I can make changes. This is a heading. Heading, this is text. Wow. And we'll save that. And what's going to happen is that this status column is now showing a little refresh icon, which means it's synchronizing back into SharePoint. And eventually, once it's done, it will turn into a green tick, as it has done now. And meanwhile, if I head back into SharePoint and refresh this particular document library or this page, we'll see that this was modified a few seconds ago. Okay, so this also means that if you're co-authoring with multiple people in your organization, then you can still make use of it hasn't changed, you can still co-author as you did before. This sync client takes care of all of that synchronization for you. The other thing that you can do is you can create a folder. So I can go demo folder here, and I can move these files into that folder. Okay, and with this folder, I can right click on it, and you can do this on individual files as well, but I can say always keep on this device. So I might be working on a particular project or working on a series of documents, then I can say I will always want these files on my computer, especially if I'm traveling on a plane or a train where I have limited internet connection. I want to be working with that local file. Once I get an internet connection back again, then those will just synchronize up to the relevant data sources. Okay, and you can see they're all ticks there. If I don't want that particular file on my machine, if it was a large file or whatever, then I can click on free up space, and that will change back to a cloud. So really, really simple, quite intuitive, and fantastic. So the other thing that I wanted to point out was I've given you a demonstration there on how to synchronize a SharePoint document library, but you can also use this same functionality for your OneDrive implementation as well. So up here on your waffle, this is this OneDrive functionality here. If I head into my OneDrive, then it has a pretty similar look and feel and similar experience. And here's the synchronization button here. The key difference though is the experience that you'll have in your Windows Explorer. So here, this little company icon denotes that is coming from your SharePoint document library. This little cloud icon is coming from your OneDrive Office 365. So it'll say OneDrive - whatever your tenancy name is. Please don't be confused. There's one other OneDrive, which is OneDrive Personal, which is a different synchronization client. And if you have that configured, you will see a third OneDrive icon there. And that's where you would have your own Microsoft Personal account, similar to things like Dropbox and Google Drive and similar. Okay, so that's the demonstration of working with the On-Demand. How do you get access to it? So, first thing is, if I go down here into the Windows taskbar and go into the OneDrive icon, right click on here and go into Settings. Underneath the Settings tab, there is a new field set here which is called Files on Demand. And if you don't see this field set, it means that you don't have the latest version of Windows. And I'll tell you how to validate that in a moment. If you do see this and it's unticked, you can just go and simply tick it, and then you can start to use the functionality that I just demonstrated to you before. Okay, so if you don't see that, then what you need to do is you need to come down here and click on the Windows bar, and then click on the Settings cog here. Once you're in here, you come into System, and then click on About. And what you need to validate is you're running version 1709. If you're not running that version, you will not be able to have this the OneDrive On-Demand functionality. This particular update is the Windows 10 Fall Creators Update, it is called. And this should automatically come through via a Windows update, or obviously your IT team will push it out. If you wanted to force that sooner, then what you can do is you can head over to the Microsoft website and type in Microsoft Windows Creators Update. And there's two links here. The first one is around checking your version, which triggers off the Windows update. I personally didn't have any success with that. What I needed to do was force the Windows update, which is the second link. And in the second link, it downloads an exe file, which then forces the download. So if you click on Get This Update, then it will download the exe file, then you can run that on your machine. Now bear in mind that this download, not that specific exe, but once it gets into the full motion, I think it's around about a gig worth in file size. So you do need to allow a bit of time for the actual download, especially if you're on Australian bandwidth. And also the installation time is quite lengthy as well, because this is a full major update to Windows 10. Okay, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. Thanks.